Alright. Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to this live stream. And funnily enough, some of you have been hanging out waiting for us to start. But guilty today. I have been working away on a video edit, a tune with Shanhun, and very excited. That'll be on the channel at some point. Very excited to share that. But for some reason, I thought I don't know why. I thought I'd scheduled this for 7:30 p.m. It's not. It's always been 7 p.m. So so we're live. We're here. We are gonna chat a little bit about this guy, Stomp Pedals, as part of your setup if you're a live performer or a just whether you're a solo performer, whether you're in a combo as well. Having a kick underneath everything is amazing, and we will be chatting a little bit about this roll and kick as well. There's a couple of things that it does that are amazing compared with this. I'm a little bit old school. Hey Sanjay, welcome along. I'm a little bit old school. I have this. I love it. I'm considering. I have to go that way. I'm considering switching to this as part of the setup, and there's a couple of reasons. We'll talk through it. But welcome along. Hey Nick, enjoyed your cover, man. And saw that from the Facebook group of Wicked Game. Nice. How are you doing? Good to connect again, man. So welcome along if you've just joined. As we started, also the last time I used OBS, I crashed it, and that was part of my setup tonight. So we're up and running. I presume you can hear me. We got some audio from this webcam, and the only downside is I'm not going to be able to plug this in, so you're not going to hear it, but you all know what it sounds like. It's a kick sound with a sweet little input into a sweet little. Oh, let's just expand this a little bit. There we go. Cool. So I've been busy setting up OBS as well, so I could do this after saying we would. So let's firstly talk about. I have had this for a long time. I don't use it in my loops at the moment because I have been using this that we talked about on the last AMA session. And so this is what's been going into the loops. I have kicks sampled into here, but I use this when I'm playing something that's not looped, or when I am in a breakdown of a loop. So if I've built a big loop and have a breakdown session, I'll often use this just to keep some kind of groove underneath things. Glad you're good, Nick. Working on a few more. Ooh, what's next in the list? That's awesome, man. But let's just do a quick comparison, and I'll go through the reasons I've become a fan. Again, I'm not using it, but friends are, and there's a couple of reasons that I really like this Roland SPD 1. The kick that's out. So when I would use this through a digital desk, I would add a gate, a noise gate. Why? Sometimes when I'm dancing around playing and I'm not using this signal, it will still pick up a signal from the movement of the floor, and that will go through the loop. So what happens is that then puts like this muddiness into the bottom. It's kind of like a kick, but I'm not actually standing on it. It's just picking up vibrations and mud. If you don't have a desk that has a noise gate, that's gonna happen. And So it can be a little bit frustrating. I would also add compression and EQ. I would treat this exactly like if I had mic'd a kick drum on a full drum kit. So to get the best sound out of it, even though it's great just as is, line out, I would still EQ it. I would still add, when I have the option, a noise gate and compression. Exactly like what you would do for a normal kick drum. Sanjay, I'm thinking of learning live looping. Awesome. It is super fun, and I expect you will have a lot of fun with it. So before we do a comparison, the last thing is I can't set a level on this. The output, the volume that's coming out to my desk, it's fixed. I can't change it. And most loop pedals now will allow you to set your own volume, or if you've got a stereo loop pedal, you can put this in one channel, it will come out its own channel. So on your mixing desk, you now can set the levels and EQ them. The benefit though, and why I think this is amazing, and you'll see it in a lot of live loop artists' rigs, is there's a couple of things, and I'm going to be able to point pretty much on the side there. You won't see it very well, but just there, they have settings for the sensitivity and the threshold, which means when that is running into your loop setup or into its own channel on the desk, you don't have to worry about that floor noise that I talked about before. You can literally go straight into the desk. It's essentially got its own noise gate built in, and how sensitive you want in terms of your foot tapping on the pedal. Obviously, there's a bunch. The other thing, just from what I shared in comparison to this, let's see if I can put them on both sides. The other thing in comparison to this is you're going to be able to set the level directly. So if you want to just come out one mono output with your guitar and the stomp pedal, you're literally going to be able to match the volumes by just adjusting the volume on the Roland pedal. So depending on your setup, it can be very, very advantageous. The one thing I will say, kicking on everything all night, if you're doing solo shows, like when I started out, I would use this all night long. I'm literally just stomping on this, and the difference is my whole foot is on this. The difference being, my foot is flat, and I would use the ball of my foot on the front. But with the Roland, if you're going to use it a lot, I don't want to say it, but the front muscle of your shin, when you're lifting your foot up on an angle, just the slightest change in angle, like that being up, will work your leg muscles very, very much. So there's always some good sides, some downsides, all of that. But I kind of wanted to jump on because I think I'm seeing it more and more. And if I was to purchase something now, it would be this straight away, no question at all. But I have this, so that's part of the setup at the moment. Anyway, if you're online, feel free to say hi. This makes me wish I could read Russian, because I have no idea how to pronounce your name. But welcome along. Right. So, if there's anything you're curious about between the two. In fact, I should just say as well, this is the updated version of my kick pedal. Let's just put them both up there. So I'm gonna have to point the opposite ways. Hey Johnny, welcome along. My version of this pedal is an older version. The one that's available, I think I linked it below this video. There's a company in Australia. He's an excellent guy. He makes them. They have a really earthy sound, a really big sound naturally. But yeah, again, there are a few reasons why I would choose this now if I was to start all over again. So yeah. Nick, random question: when did you start with Twitch? You can have to. No, all good. This is the point of the AMA is everyone can literally ask some questions. So let's just we'll just put these guys over here as I figure out what I'm doing with all this fun streaming software. I started on Twitch at the start of November, and I did a lot of streams that were like 10 minutes long, and they were out of time. The audio was out of sync. I had a lot of issues, and that was very much a process to figure out. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The next session will be tomorrow afternoon in New Zealand. We'll go through the questions. Johnny, do you use octave pedals? Not for these, not for my Stomp. Yes, I do use octave pedals, but they're only for my guitar. This has a really big bottom end sound to it, so not octave pedal is not required in that case. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, so you've got a big foot as well. Literally, what you've said is exactly my experience. The good side of Bigfoot was the predecessor, same person making them, the old version of that guy. Great sound on their own. What the reality is, if you can keep it on its own channel, so if you've got this going into let's say the left hand side of your loop, and you've got your guitar going into the right, and you bring them out their own separate, like which way should I should I put my fingers for this? I'm not being rude. So you've got two outputs, then you've got guitar and you've got the Stomp. Then you can EQ it. It's still running through your loops, and then you've got no worries. With the Voice Live 3, and this is where I would recommend the Roland. I put this in the auxiliary input. I can set the level on the Voice Live 3, but I can't EQ this, and then it will come out my main channel. So unfortunately, in that instance, that's where the power of the Roland really lives. All right, Fede, is that how I say your name? I love working with the SPD kick. Do you use the Stomp for putting a kick in a loop, or only in breaks while looping? Now, great question. So for putting in a kick in a loop, I'm using this guy that we talked about last week, and I have a bunch of it's not it's not even up the right way, but I have a bunch of pads that I've set to be kick samples. So this goes into my loop. This I just use exactly like you described. when I'm taking a break in looping, either for a full song where there's no looping, or perhaps if I've got a breakdown section where I stop the loop, but I might keep this going just to keep some love under it. So yeah, like feather but without the R. Feather. How do I not say the R? Feather. I'm sorry. Damn it. I'm just going to keep trying to pronounce your name now. Where's it from? Where are you from? I'm curious now. Right, Nick, I also discovered I am bad at tapping the ball of my foot and tap my heel instead. Nice, yeah. Turn the big foot around so my heel is over the pickup. Actually pretty common. I have a friend in Oz that did exactly the same thing. So Twitch tomorrow, I'll be on at 2 PM New Zealand time. So 5 hours earlier than now. Whatever the time is now, fast forward a day and take off 5 hours. That will be the next live stream. Oh, that was it. Damn it. Feather. Okay. From the Netherlands. Nice. I have spent 2.5 days in the Netherlands. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a whirlwind trip to explore a bit and catch up with a friend. Yeah, I'm curious who is using a stomp into their loops at the moment. And it's cool. Thanks for the comments. Obviously, a bunch of you using different things, but yeah. So I just to reiterate, if you've just jumped on, I use this not in my loops. I use it for breaks. I use it for songs that don't require it to be in the loop, or I don't have a loop for. And I use it in little breakdowns when I've built a loop, I've stopped the loop, and I just want some bottom end, a little groove underneath to carry it through, so it's not a total drop in the volume. We talked about this. This is what goes into the loops, and I have some kicks set up on the pads. Vivren, which pedal do you feel is better? Personally, I think now, if you're looping as well, I would, if I was to buy something now, I would buy the Roland SPD. And the reason being for that, it's got, regardless of what situation I'm in, I can set its, let's see if I can get it again. Just, hang on. Just there on the side, it has a threshold and a sensitivity setting. So, in fact, I'm not sure if you can see. There we go. Threshold, sensitivity, as my face disappears in the mix. But it just means that you have the option to, depending on what loop setup you're using, depending on if... Hey Matt, how's it going, brother? I noticed, I do believe, you just released an album that I have not listened to yet, but I saw it got released. Was that today? Yesterday? Am I behind the times? Was it like a week ago now and I just saw it today somewhere? So, but the reason being, I will... This looks like I'm trying to flex now. This pedal, this stomp pedal, I will EQ, I will do that on a digital desk. I will add EQ, I will add a noise gate, I will add compression, and I treat it just like the kick drum of a full drum kit. but if you don't have those options, there's no way to change the volume level if you're plugging into a loop pedal that doesn't have it and you want to use it as part of your loops. So yeah, various bits and pieces, but as always, you kind of have to choose what is good for you. And the one I do love the tone of this, just naturally. Exactly, I'd echo Nick exactly what you said as well. Where is it? I'm going to find it in the chat because this is literally what I would say. I use a Bigfoot, but also found it didn't work well looping because of EQ and volume issues. Sounds beautiful on its own. So there's a couple of ways you can get around it. One is to use your guitar volume to match whatever volume that is. It's not the ideal scenario, but that can work. But if you're coming out the same thing, then you don't have a choice. It sounds how it sounds. So, oh well. Johnny, love your guitar tone on Englishman in New York. Thank you, brother. I play in an acoustic duo in San Francisco. Definitely think of adding the kick pedal for improvising. Yeah, I do. I mean, a friend of mine used to play his full shows with a kick pedal, literally a full kick pedal that he'd probably, pulled apart a drum set somewhere, and that was his show. And I mean, full credit. That's a cool look and a lot of effort for a solo show. But it was just literally to keep cranking out that like 4 to the floor pretty much for everything underneath all of what he's playing. It adds a big sound when it's just you, no looping. Nick, what percentage of your shows are loop songs versus non-loop songs? It very much depends on the show. I think the last tour with Shimna, it was probably like 25% was looped. Different creations that we were doing, and when in fact, I tried to get it set up for this live stream, as I've been editing I wanted to show you all a sneak preview because I have been editing a little arrangement of Tamakine that Shimna and I did. Shimna on the violin, me on the guitar, not on the violin, but what I do for that is I have a kick sound running through the RC300, and I bring in a couple of little parts just to make the song work, but at no point am I building up like a track, a full looping track that is often how we refer to as looping, like, right, I'm going to put in all the parts and build up a big sound. So I can't show you, I'm sorry, because I literally just, after crashing OBS last time, realized that I need it. And so I've quickly been being like, okay, webcam, great, add the kicks in, make sure I've got some audio, so I'm just happy I'm here tonight. But what was the point of that? Who knows? What was I talking about? What percentage of your shows are loop songs? So for some of those songs with Shimna, we did a version of Lord's Royals, which again I'm just, for a lot of that, I just put a 4 to the floor groove. I'm calling it a groove. It's really like just the kick 4 to the floor. But I used the guitar for that show, just creating that bass drum kind of sound with the guitar, and yeah, then I build a few things around it that allow me to harmonize with her, playing different guitar lines, her on fiddle lines, with still some chords, some fullness in the background, and it just, I guess as well, it just means the dynamics when we stop that stuff, we get this nice drop back to an intimate little moment. I really want to be able to share it. I can't. I put it in and I realized I don't have anything set up so that you can hear the audio, so you would genuinely be watching the footage with nothing. But it'll go on the channel. You'll see it soon. So yeah. Alright, I'm currently using, hang on, what did I miss? I'm currently, Vivran, I'm currently using Martin LX1E along with TC Helicon Play Acoustic and RC300, and I'm making a kick out of the stock pickup. Awesome. The perfect way. I do that as well. There's still a lot of stuff where I use my guitar as the kick sound, and for my loops, if I'm doing a more relaxed show, I still do that. I don't always take and use this. This goes into my loops, by the way, if you've just joined. Alright, so a couple of days ago, Matt, what's it called? If you're still there, what is your album called? I have a feeling it was called Beyond or Broken or something with a B, but I could be very wrong. I'm often very wrong. Don't know, B something? Is there a B in it? You're most welcome, Vivran. Johnny, I did too much work. Is that referring to the full kick drum? That's what you did? That's epic. Feather. I'm off. Just wanted to tell you. You're the one that got me into looping. Oh, awesome. Thanks for that. Keep up the awesome work. Feather without an R, signing out. Feather. I feel like that's challenging. Anyway, I should learn more languages. An external trigger can... Sorry, Matt, it's called escape. Escape with a B? Escape. It's a foreign album of covers. Escape. I don't know why. I'll get in trouble doing mysterious accents that I have no idea where they come from. An external trigger connected to our HPD20s is great for triggering any sound you like. We use it either to keep the beat when the loop needs to stop, and also for incidental crashes. Nice. I'm guessing you program the trigger? Just one trigger? Nice. Cool. Nick, for my solo shows, again, it depends. I do a bunch of different shows, so just going back to how much is looped or how much is not. If I'm doing a like where I'm hired to do a Saturday night party vibe kind of thing, it's probably 70% looped. If it's that kind of environment, everyone on the dance floor, all that sort of stuff, and then a bunch of the classics, I'm just stomping out on this guy underneath them. So yeah, that's, and then again, if I'm doing a lot of my solo stuff for my original things is quite folksy, so bit of a different vibe, and then we probably drop down to maybe 10 to 20% has loops underneath it, but I will often loop a groove. So sometimes my looping is just genuinely putting down a groove. I like using the acoustic guitar for that and getting a kind of raw organic sound, and then playing over that. So yeah, but look, if anyone's got any last requests, any final questions, let me know. I am gonna disappear, and but I'll answer if you're on and you've got questions, whether it's about these pedals, whether it's about whatever. If it's something useful I can answer, I will. Otherwise, it is 7:30, so I'm literally gonna sign out very shortly. But thank you all for being on. It's nice. Happy New Year, by the way. I don't think I've said that on the channel. This is the first. Is it the? I don't even know what the dates are. I'm like, is this the first Ask Me Anything, or did I just genuinely miss last week? I feel like I took a bit of time off, which has been nice. All right, thanks, Nick. With a groove. With a groove, do you mean with a groove? I mean a beat, a rhythm that I put down in a loop. Often just using one loop track, putting down a groove, being like, cool, that's what I'm gonna play over. So yeah, nice. Most welcome. Yep. Likely we'll see you on Twitch somewhere there. I'm doing a terrible thing on Thursday on Twitch. Should be fun though. The cheesiest pop songs ever some of which I'm sure I will murder, but we will have a laugh. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Much love from me in New Zealand, and we will see you on the channel. Keep making music, have fun, and